So this is how it happened. So originally, I started with Def Jam. And then after Def Jam, with the first 2 albums, I ended up moving, we ended up going to Universal, which was Cash Money, right?
Universal Cash Money. Yep.
Cash Money, Bugatti, and all that other stuff, right? Then issues started to stir up with Cash Money. Universal, you remember that when they had the issues and just things were just happening.
When you caught in the melee.
Like, I'm caught in the melee. We all, even with the label. So it's like, people trying to just keep what they can keep type of thing. So, bro wanted to make his own decision to kind of do his own thing. Like, he wanted to be his own independent field, so he wanted to kind of separate from the vibe.
You talking about Khaled?
Yeah. Khaled wanted to separate from the Universal music and kind of do something different.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He wanted to be more independent.
All done? No. Okay, all right, cool.
So is that leaving you guys or the label, all the artists left behind by doing that?
Well, he wanted to branch off. So yes, it would be like, handling this business in this way and then taking that, your imprint and making it independent. And then we were under Sony Red.
Sony Red, distribution, right.
Sony Red is when the issue started to stir up.
Okay.
Because I think, like you said, there was a certain level, I was invested in the We The Best, right? I felt like me and Bruh created that together. If I'm being honest.
You wore the brand on your sleeve.
I wore the brand on my sleeve. If you thought about We The Best, you thought about Ace.
I agree with
you thought about Khaled. Facts. It wasn't one without the other. It's just what it was. You feel me? So I felt like
that was like Dame and Jay at one point.
That's how I felt, and I thought, I thought that we were just there, and we, what I'm saying. So for me, I didn't like the fact that the decision was made without me. I didn't like the fact that the decision was made to part ways from our distribution and me not know about it, and you decide solely to say we're gonna take this one imprint and go over here and I'm gonna do this. Granted, rightfully so.
What distribution was you mad that you was leaving? Universal?
Just because we were with Universal, going from Universal to something that's more independent, which was the Sony Red situation.
Sony Red, yeah.
Yeah. It was just the principle for me was the fact that I felt like we created this thing together that. Now we should make all the decisions, but this was a decision that I felt like I thought we were brothers enough that you would come to me about this decision type of thing in some way. You know what I mean? And maybe he feel wrong that or don't feel the same way that I could even be in a position to say that. But I felt like we built this. I contribute out. You know what I mean? I rep that shit. It's on my skin. I did. You know what I mean? I was out here. People knew that. So for me, the decision to take it from one thing to another was an issue for me. Because then I started to understand that it's not about my decision.
And I'm sorry to cut you off. You had he didn't even call you and say, yo, listen.
No. So once he made the decision, it was like final with Sony Red and it was happening, like that's when the conversation actually happened, you know what I'm saying, with us. And I felt blown away because I felt like I was unprepared for it. There's ideas and there's things that I wanted to do that I felt like I needed a major backing to do so, and I just think like the decision, even though for him, yes, it's your brand at the end of the day, and you can take it like
maybe he felt like, well, it's my brand, I don't have to consult, but I feel on your end it's like it's impacting your career regardless.
Only because the moment this imprint started, which means that the moment you knew about it, Ace Hood was signed to it.
Right.
And it existed at that point. I think
you felt like it was created around you.
Not around me.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't feel like it was created. I feel like I was the first representation of that brand, of what it would be.
And I'll tell you the misunderstanding right there, right? Like when you sign an artist, it's like signing a baby, right? Mm-hmm. And it's your baby. That's why they say, that's my baby, like sometimes, right?
Yeah.
But as the artist grows, sometimes you still give the artist the information, you still give them porridge. But you're not realizing that artist got teeth now.
Right.
And the artist actually doesn't want porridge no more, doesn't want baby food. And it deserves to say, you know what? We be eating chicken now. Mm-hmm. All right, that's cool. But why are we eating chicken? Okay, and why do you want to eat vegetables?
Why are you changing my diet?
Why? And that's just what it is. I understand his position because it's his company, and I understand that you wasn't eating porridge no more.
Right.
It was your turn.
There's a term
to at least know.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I get where you're coming from too. Like I'm an artist and a CEO.
But there's a term that really goes with what you're saying. You were the flagship artist.
There you go.
Right.
Yeah.
Of We The Best.
And I'm not saying that I wanted to know all the ins and outs of his business or anything.
I just think that anything that affects me, Right.
I should be in part. I should be, you know, within that conversation. You know what I'm saying? I just think that's right, and I think that's fair. Not even about being right. I just think that's fair. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna decide to take that, hey yo, so I'm just deciding to, I'm deciding to take. I know we were with blah, but we gonna move over, and you know what I'm saying. That way we're in it together, right? And that way it doesn't feel like I'm excluded, in that you solely can make these decisions. Now, who am I? What does that say about me if you can just decide anytime you want to take this thing and do what you want with it? That means that I'm supposed to follow behind and do what you want with it too, right?
But one